In a market saturated with options, why do some brands thrive while the vast majority simply fade into the background? The answer often isn't groundbreaking technology or the lowest price. It's built on a foundation that predates any sale: trust. Think about your own buying habits. When you are deep in the consideration stage of a purchase, actively searching for solutions and validation, what truly moves you forward? It's the sense of security, reliability, and confidence a brand projects. This is the psychological currency upon which every successful transaction is built. Today, brand trust is more fragile than ever, making the process of converting informed, skeptical buyers incredibly difficult. You cannot afford to treat trust as a byproduct of exemplary service. You must elevate it to the level of a core strategic pillar. It must be proven, not assumed. Achieving high brand credibility requires a deliberate and actionable framework. To truly implement trust as a core pillar, you must move beyond aspirational slogans and integrate trust building directly into the strategic machinery of your inbound marketing and content delivery. This guide provides a practical, four-pillar roadmap for marketing leaders. It shows you how to adopt, execute, and measure inbound content strategies that solidify your brand's credibility and drive conversion. The stakes are immense, as evidenced by one critical truth. 81% of consumers need to trust a brand before they will even consider buying from it. This is not a competitive edge. It is a fundamental prerequisite for survival in the modern market. You have to implement trust as a key defining characteristic of your brand. Pillar 1. Defining your trust blueprint. How does a brand move from simply being perceived as trustworthy to becoming an actively managed, trust-first organization? The difference lies in intentionality. Trust is an active value that must be demonstrated through every piece of content and every interaction. Before you can build, you must define. This involves looking inward and ensuring your actions align perfectly with your values. Trust and authenticity. Why values matter in the digital age. Consumers are adept at identifying inconsistencies. They quickly recognize when a brand's public persona is disconnected from its operations. This is why authenticity is no longer a soft ideal, but a stern business necessity. To enhance brand credibility, ask yourself, how does your current communication reflect your brand's core internal values? Data shows that values drive loyalty and purchase decisions. One study found that 86% of consumers believe authenticity is important when deciding to support a brand. If your brand fails to act in alignment with its public statements, it risks undermining all its marketing efforts. Establishing EAT as the standard. The modern definition of brand credibility is often simplified by the acronym EAT: expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. While frequently discussed in the context of search engine ranking, EAT is actually a universal standard for consumer confidence. Expertise. This demonstrates deep, specialized knowledge through your content. It means creating the definitive resource on a topic, not just a quick overview. For instance, an industrial software company must publish a comprehensive 10,000-word guide on compliance best practices, rather than a generic, introductory blog post. Your audience is looking for the expert in the room. Authoritativeness. This involves earning industry recognition and external validation. It's what others say about you, mentions, industry citations, and backlinks from respected sources. This validates your expertise externally. Trustworthiness. This refers to the consistent and ethical operation. It means being transparent about your business practices, having clear contact information, providing robust support, and honoring every promise made. Step 1. Auditing your credibility gaps. To successfully implement trust, you must first identify where it's currently lacking. We recommend performing a brief audit of 3 critical areas. Content depth. Are you producing content that is deep enough to establish actual expertise, or are you only skimming the surface of complex topics? External validation. Do you have strong, recent, and relevant social proof? Are industry leaders citing your work? Message consistency. Is your brand's voice and value statement consistent across your website, social media, marketing emails, and customer support channels? This audit lays the groundwork for the strategic content shifts required to execute your trust pillar. Pillar 2, the engine of trust, inbound content strategy. Inbound marketing is the most effective strategic approach for building trust because it reverses the traditional power dynamic. Instead of interrupting your audience with an unsolicited promotion, you provide value first, solving their problems before ever demanding a sale. This is a fundamental shift from skepticism to belief. Content is the primary vehicle for achieving this brand credibility. The consideration stage content mandate. The consideration stage buyer is actively searching for the solution to their identified problem. They are no longer asking what their problem is. They are asking how to solve it and who they should partner with to do it. Your content, therefore, must serve as validation. It needs to prove that your solution is the most effective, reliable, and expertly delivered option available. This means focusing on content that provides quantifiable proof and a deep explanation. Here are the specific, actionable content tactics you must use to implement trust at this crucial stage. Publishing case studies, social proof. Case studies move the conversation from "if we can solve it" to the much more powerful "we already solved this problem for a company exactly like yours." They provide a narrative arc of challenge, solution, and quantifiable results, transforming abstract claims into concrete proof. Comparative guides. Few things build credibility faster than transparency. Creating honest, well-researched guides that compare your product against competitors, even admitting where a competitor might have a niche advantage, builds massive respect. It shows you are committed to the truth, not just the sale. Educational deep dives. Your goal should be to create content that is unequivocally better than anything else available on the topic. When your content becomes the definitive resource, you automatically position your brand as the thought leader and subject matter expert, directly supporting the EAT principle. Step 2. Integrate quantifiable data, the statistics advantage. In the consideration stage, every claim you make will be scrutinized. Opinions are cheap, data is priceless. The effective integration of verified statistics transforms your claims into facts, positioning you as a serious and authoritative brand. For example, simply stating, "Our product improves efficiency," is weak. A trusted brand states, "Clients using this solution see a 28% reduction in process time over 6 months, a finding validated across 30 enterprise case studies." This data-driven approach is what modern buyers are searching for. It is crucial to remember that this buyer is seeking third-party validation to confirm their potential choice. For instance, 70% of potential buyers actively seek reviews to validate a company before making a purchase. Your content must feed this need for external proof. Pillar 3. Consistency and experience as trust reinforcement. If your brand delivers brilliant content but a chaotic customer experience, you are actively destroying your brand credibility. Consistency is the physical manifestation of reliability. If your identity, voice, and expertise shift across channels, you create doubt, which is the opposite of trust. This is why consistency correlates directly with financial success. Research shows that consistent branding leads to an average revenue increase of 23%. This revenue lift is a direct result of the trust that reliability fosters. The critical customer experience loop. Your process for handling customer feedback is a trust barometer. How you manage public perception and the physical experience of interacting with your brand is just as important as the content you publish. Review management. The power of social proof. Buyers do not rely solely on your word. They rely on the collective voice of your existing customers. In fact, 99.9% of customers read reviews when shopping online. You must implement a proactive system for generating, showcasing, and most importantly, responding to reviews. A transparent, professional, and helpful response to a negative review often builds more trust than 100 unchallenged positive ones. It shows accountability, data handling, privacy as a trust signal. In the digital age, how you treat customer data is a crucial test of integrity. Users are constantly concerned about their privacy. You must be transparent, clear, and direct about what data you collect, why you collect it, and how you protect it. A clear privacy policy and robust security measures are silent, powerful signals of a trustworthy brand. Communication reliability, sender reputation. Trust breaks down quickly when critical communications fail. If important emails, invoices, support responses, download links, or subscription updates consistently land in spam folders, your brand is perceived as unreliable and unprofessional. Ensuring a high email sender reputation and delivering clear, timely communications is a small technical detail with a massive impact on credibility. Step 3. Humanizing the brand. Ultimately, trust is built between people. Your content strategy can feel cold and corporate if it lacks a human element. Showcase the experts, the innovators, and the values that drive the business. This humanization makes the brand relatable. Remember that consumer beliefs drive transactions. 58% of people will buy or advocate for brands based on their beliefs and values. Allowing your team's expertise and personality to shine through in your content deepens the emotional connection and solidifies the trust pillar. Pillar 4. Measuring and sustaining the trust pillar. Trust is often dismissed as a soft metric, impossible to quantify. This is a myth. When you strategically implement trust, it translates directly into hard business results, shortening sales cycles, increasing customer lifetime value, CLV, and lowering customer acquisition costs. Step 4. Key metrics to track. The goal of this strategic implementation is not just to feel good, it is to perform better. Here is how you measure the true ROI of your trust pillar. SEO Authority Score. This score, based on factors like domain age, backlinks, and content quality, is a direct external reflection of your EAT. A high score means search engines, and by extension consumers, view you as a definitive authority. Organic click-through rate, CTR. When your brand is consistently authoritative and credible, branded organic listings often see a significantly higher CTR. Users are more likely to bypass an unfamiliar competitor to click on the name they know and trust. Conversion rates on gated content. High conversion rates on consideration stage assets, like detailed white papers or interactive tools, prove that buyers are willing to exchange their contact information for your expertise. They trust the value of your content. Customer lifetime value, CLV, and retention. Trusted brands retain customers for longer periods, and those customers tend to spend more. The data confirms this directly. 7 in 10 customers will buy more from brands they trust. Time to conversion. Trust acts as an accelerator. When buyers already believe in your brand, less time is spent overcoming skepticism and building rapport, resulting in shorter and more efficient sales cycles. Sustaining the effort. Trust is not a project with a deadline. It is a continuous, ongoing effort. As you implement trust strategies, you must commit to their long-term execution. Continuous content production, monitoring of public sentiment, and proactive response management are essential for preventing trust erosion. Remember that the inverse is also true. The penalty for breaking trust is steep. One study revealed that 71% of consumers said they will stop purchasing from a company altogether if their trust is broken. Sustained effort is the only way to safeguard your most valuable asset, your partner in credibility. To successfully implement trust as a brand pillar, a cohesive and strategic approach is required, merging high-value inbound content with data-driven consistency across every touchpoint. This intentional strategy moves your brand from being a mere vendor in a crowded marketplace to becoming a reliable, sought-after resource that earns conversions through genuine confidence. If you are ready to transition from chasing demand to commanding loyalty, and you require step-by-step guidance to adopt these high-level tactics and measure definitive results, we are here to help. Aspiration Marketing specializes in designing and executing inbound marketing and content strategies that not only secure high search rankings, but also fundamentally build and harness the brand credibility necessary for sustainable growth. Connect with our experts to fortify your brand's most valuable pillar.